Hey Gemini, and welcome to my channel. I'm Daniel Redwolf, and medium shamanic practitioner, and I'm excited to be here during the month of July. I feel like shit's gonna happen for you. Like it's gonna be a pretty solid month. It's gonna be a month of finally understanding where you want to go in life. So these are general readings. They may not resonate with everybody. So take whatever resonates with you and throw everything else, and throw everything else in the back burner. It might resonate with you a little bit later. Again, it's I try to focus it for the month of July, but it also could mean that it's going to come down later down the pipe, depending on how you're walking your path. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. If this resonates with you, definitely uh, do a like, share it, or let me know in the comments how it resonated with you. And if those of you are if whoever's interested to work with me one-on-one, feel free to follow the link below to go ahead and schedule a session with me. I always enjoy doing those, being able to connect with you and help you move through the red road as when we walk it, right? It's nice to be able to kind of get a different perspective, to get guidance on what it is we're doing. I know I still see my coach every other week, and it's fun. It's fun, but it's also a pain in the butt when you have to discover your patterns and figure stuff out, and you're like, okay, I got to heal through this in order for me to get through from point A to point B. So overall, let's see what's happening for the month of July. Ace of Swords. So right off the bat, your energy is coming through. The Chariot, King of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. I was going to say that's an air sign. That is definitely not an air sign. It's a water sign. The Hangman, Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords. I feel like this one's you. And the Four of Swords. So right off the bat with this one and the Hangman, it's like you're finally going to start coming out of your shell. You're finally going to figure out what's going to happen. This is the month of rediscovery. This is the month of identifying where it is you want to go, what it is you want to do. So for a couple of you all, I feel like it has been one of those things where you're not sure what you want to do. You don't know what to do. You felt a little bit lost, a little bit like what the heck is happening. And I'm saying that because with the Queen of Cups, it's more about like you've been pondering, is like what am I doing? What should I do? What are my career choices? Should I go to school? Should I not? And it's a little bit of comparison. And I'm saying that because you have the King oh, my hand's giving out. You have the King of Pentacles right there. So you see he has money and all, and he's just sitting there on a throne. So it's a little bit of comparison that you've been really going through that moment. So now as you step into it, universe is like, hey, this is going to be the month where you're going to go somewhere and you're going to finally reevaluate what is it you want to do. However, in order for you to get from point A to point B, the Ace of Swords tells you that you're going to have to look deep inside. You're really going to have, especially if you see this guy right here, he's really going inward. He's stepping into the place, into his own shadow, right? And who was it? I think it was like James Campbell or something like that. He's like, Joseph Campbell. He's like, the cave you fear to go in holds your treasure. So a lot of times we are terrified to go inside to figure out what is holding us back, our shadow, our deepest fears, whatever we have shame in. All of that is where those are the caves we want to step into. Those are the caves we want to move into. And that is, I really feel like for Gemini, you're really going to want to finally step into those to be able to uncover, to figure out where you're going to go, what you're going to do. And the moment you do that is the moment that there's going to be the transformation. That's the moment that shit's going to begin to happen. And it's not going to be easy. That is one of the one of the facts that I can tell you in it for certainty when it comes to shadow work, it is the most uncomfortable thing. Like clearly, I can't even get comfortable. Um, so it's shadow work is one of the most uncomfortable things to do. It sucks. However, that is the path of transformation. And the moment you do it, everything's going to move very quickly. But again, there is light. So it's you have the chariot reminding you that if you're willing to move through that, if you're willing to push through it, there's light. There is that moment, right? And it reminds me of Star Wars when Luke is right at the in the cave and they're like um and he goes into the cave and he whatchamacallit, takes his lifesaver and then he sees Darth Vader, right? And it's like chops his head off and basically he rolls in there and looks at his head and it's like, holy shit, it's me, right? So again, we're terrified to go into those caves. We're terrified to move into that space. However, those are the spaces where are going to trigger the most transformation. For a couple of y'all, I feel like there is definitely some vacation happening. There is some trip happening where you are going to finally step into it and you're going to be able to break out of that shell, break out of the thing. You're finally going somewhere where it is warm. You're getting out of the cold. You're going into a place where you're no longer going to be hibernating. So I get that, especially with this one with the Knight of Swords. You're finally gonna step into and break your armor. You're gonna let your armor go. A lot of times we hold on to this armor that we've been holding on for years and ever since like we're little kids, right? Because of every experience we've gone through, and they're making you feel like if you want money to start coming in, if you want your path to start being revealed, you gotta break that armor. So this is more for people who are unsure of where it is they're going, that they're feeling that place of not even stuck. I don't believe we're ever stuck. It's more about that we just keep looking at exactly what we do not want and therefore we stay in there because we look at what we have to do and we don't want to take the action to do it, because it scares the shit out of us. I'm I'm the same way. I have to catch myself and I have really good friends that they're like, you're in the same spot. What the heck are you terrified about, right? What are your fears? What's holding you back? And I have to work through those, right? And so I'm really fortunate to have friends that I can get that can actually be there and beat the shit out of me, basically smack me upside the head, right? To say, hey, stop going through that cycle, get out of your head and step into the discomfort. So again, the moment you do that, it's the moment that you're going to transform, and that means that there might be someone there that's going to come in and ignite that flame. Especially with the wands, with the Knight of Wands, it's going to be someone who's going to be there, cheerful. That's going to be your cheerleader. That's going to be someone that's going to move in. For a couple of y'all, I feel like there is definitely love coming into this picture during the July. However, love, in order for those of you who are single, it's like in order for love to come through, you're going to be the one that's going to have to let it all out and say, hey, this is how I feel, and be okay with that person not feeling the same way. And the reason I say that is because that is going to be you stepping out of your comfort and saying, hey, this is how I feel, and I'm going to be okay with you not feeling the same way. Yeah, I know it kind of weird that I say you got to be okay with rejection, but that's life. We have to be okay not being liked by everybody, right? So again, love is definitely going to be coming in for Geminis during the month, and I feel like think about it more for the middle to the end of July. That is where it's either you're taking a vacation or somewhere tropical, somewhere it's where it is definitely no snow, no nothing. It is going to be full blown summer. Get prepared. It is going to be hot. However, this is going to be the moment to finally relax, to figure out what is it do you want to do. For a couple other you, I feel like there is definitely going to be a new job offer coming in during the month of July. So that, or if it's not a new job offer, it's going to be you're finally going to start putting your feelers out there. You're going to finally start applying for different positions. You're going to finally start moving into that space of wanting to go from one place to another. I feel like a couple of y'all you're not making the amount of money that you should be making. You're holding yourself back because you've been in that place of not knowing where you want to go. And maybe some of you might be thinking like, I don't have the education, I don't have the college degree, right? And one of the biggest things that I've learned for me, personally, has been that you sometimes don't even need a college degree to get the job you want, right? or you can have a college degree that is in a completely different field and then do something and in another field, right? So like for me, I am not doing what I've studied. I went to school, did my schoolwork, my undergrad, my grad, and I am not using those degrees, right? So it is okay to be able to walk away, right? And or go into a position that says, hey, I don't need this job. Of course, I'm not saying you're going to go into the medical field, and for that, there's some things where you do need a degree, but for a lot of y'all, I think like business, whatever it may be, business, starting your own business. A lot of you, you're very smart. You're really tech savvy, stepping into those moments where you are really figuring out what it is you want to do. Maybe you enjoy being on the computer, or making websites, or you're creating different things, right? You can do marketing. You can do things on the side, right? Where you can do marketing material for a company. You can be designing websites, whatever it may be. Making the Facebook post, not the Facebook, the Instagram post for people, and that have a small practice or whatever it may be. But it's using your skills, using your talents to be able to start making a little bit extra money, so you can, and then eventually it's going to get you into that place where you want to go. So again, month of July is definitely going to be a pretty good month. It's going to go quickly. It's going to go really fast. It's going to go to the point where you're just going to be like, what the heck is happening? But it's going to be definitely the month of having those uncomfortable conversations with someone. And I really feel like you might be having an uncomfortable conversation with another air sign, maybe someone that you have feelings for. And it's going to be like, hey, this is what I'm feeling. This is what, whatever. And for some of y'all, I feel like they might be like, yeah, I have the same feelings. Where do we go from here? And for some, it might be like, hey, I don't have the same feelings, right? So be prepared for either one. But I feel for a couple of y'all, I feel like that person will come back and be like, yeah, I do feel that. And it could definitely be a older person for some of y'all. And for a couple of others, it might be a younger person. So let's see the clarification cards. The Eight of Swords. So this, again, it tells me that you've been feeling stuck. Like you've been feeling like you have not been moving. But again, you have the Queen of Cups right here. You have the Queen of Cups coming back in and saying, hey, it's time for the energy to start moving. It's time for shit to move, right? And the Six of Wands is, in order for you to move, it's time to step into your light, into your purpose. And then the Knight of Wands. So those are, again, they're coming in again. The Knight of Wands comes in, the Queen of Cups is coming in again. That's, again, reminder, it's finally, especially the Six of Wands, it's finally going to be the month of you stepping into your true purpose. Is finally you going to be stepping into the spotlight. You're going to finally be stepping into it. Like with this one, you see it right there. You see where she's at the spotlight. There's the energy moving around her. So again, it's going to be, are you willing to be uncomfortable? Are you willing to step into that? And again, you have the Knight right here, the Knight of Wands. Yep. So the Knight of Wands, again, it's time to relax. It's time to expand your mind. It's take those chains off. It's not worth it. It's not worth moving away, right? For a couple of y'all, I feel like during the month of July, I feel like there might be a contract that you might be signing. I'm not sure if this is going to be a contract in terms of you're buying a car or you're buying a home, or maybe starting a lease of some sort for a home or a commercial space. But there is definitely something when it comes in terms of contracts that are definitely coming through for y'all. And for those of you who do own a business, I feel like it's going to be the moment during the month of July. It's going to be saving every single dollar, trying to conserve as much, reduce your expenses, and try to increase your income as possible. And this just doesn't go for those who own businesses. It also goes for all the individuals, all the Geminis, who it's going to be time to start conserving your money. Try not to spend as much, right? Another clarification card, the Knight of Swords. Again, there's going to be that moment where you're going to finally be stepping into that place of, hey, I gotta share my feelings. I gotta share my what's coming through. The Seven of Pentacles. That means some of you, you're probably bored in your job. You're probably like, hey, I'm tired, right? And then you have the Ten of Cups. For me, the Ten of Cups, right? That's going to be for those in terms of love, in terms of maybe there is a relationship you're going to be proposed to, you're adding a child to the family. There's that's going to be coming through. A couple of y'all, I feel like there might be you might not have a child, but you might be inviting a pet coming through. So there's something that's your like you're going to baby, or maybe a business that you're both starting, whatever it may be. But it is going to be for those of you who are single and you're going to talk to this person who is an air sign or possibly even a fire sign. You're going to be like, hey, this is what's happening. And I feel like that's where it's going to start the start of a relationship. With the Seven of Pentacles, it's like, hey, shit's moving. You're going to finally get through this boredom at your job, or this feeling like you're not making enough money, like you're working way more than you are, than you're earning less than you should be earning. So it's definitely going to be that month of transformation. However, get through the hump, get through towards the end of July. I feel like that's when you're going to finally come in. Beginning of August, you're going to finally say, hey, it's time for me to just look for something else. It's time for me to just say, hey, I got to go. I got to move. I got to expand myself. I got to allow myself to challenge myself. So trying to think what else. And I'm seeing. So overall, it's going to be a great month. And the card from your ancestors, explore your creative side. So explore your creative side. It is the month of discovery. And actually the other one, this one actually just caught my attention. Go after your goals. So that might also be another message from spirit, from your ancestors, where again, go towards your goals, go towards your creative side. Again, you might not know where you're at right now, where you're going, what you want to do. You're feeling a little bit lost. Maybe you're at a certain age where you're like, hey, I've been doing this for X amount of years and I'm tired. I've never done what I wanted to do. Again, it's about maybe time for you going from one place to the next and saying, hey, I'm ready to finally do what I've been wanting to do, right? So some of you, maybe you're retiring and it's going to be you finally taking the leap of faith and starting your own business or starting your own side hustle to actually enjoy. And maybe and for a couple of you that are in that space where you are going to finally start your own side hustle, it's going to be maybe something where it's remote, where you're always going to be traveling, where it's always going to be moving around, right? Because for Geminis, I feel like water is one of your biggest things. You've got to be around water for some weird reason. I don't know why I just said weird, but for some weird reason, it is you all, especially as an air sign, right? A lot of times, we connect really well with water, and however, with water, it is our cleansing. So every time you connect with water, it's about a cleansing. So maybe that's what it is. Where with air signs, we enjoy the water, but whenever the water steps in, it forces us to do our shadow work. It forces us to do our cleansing, our healing, and sometimes we want to avoid that. We want to just go through the process. We want to enjoy the burger without making the burger, type of thing, right? So quick and easy. That's basically, it's almost like, as in me and Aquarius, it's our model sign, right? So move through the month of July knowing that you're finally going to step into where it is you want to go, what it is you want to do. However, always know that you have to be willing to go through the discomfort, go through the challenge, go through the feelings of, and the whirlwind of all the shadow, of all the craziness, of all the trauma that you had to experience, right? Go through that discomfort of telling someone how you feel, even though you're gonna you might grieve the person where you might be like at that moment you're like, crap, I'm grieving the place where I was, where I didn't say any of that, right? Once you say something when you're vulnerable, you cannot go back, but that's going to be the transformation. That's going to be moving. And again, feel like you're going to take some time to think about it, maybe take a vacation during the end of the July. Take that moment to just finally let go and say, hey, this is going to be a new beginning for me. This is going to finally be me stepping into me, myself, and myself. I'm finally going to own myself. I'm finally going to accept all of me. I'm finally going to be brave with my life and go from there. So Gemini, shit's going to happen this month. It's going to be great. I really feel like it is going to be a good month for you. It's going to finally be the month you've been really hoping for. You've had a good June. I feel like it's been a good one. But again, you've been still in that moment of like, where do I go? What do I do? Where do I go? What do I do? Right? So let's finish up the year with a bang. And I feel like if you're willing to finally tackle your inner works and your inner self, go into that dark cave of finding who you are and accepting all of you who you are and saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to do what I've been wanting to do for the rest, and I'm going to enjoy it. You're going to finally be able to go into that moment of launching whatever it is you want to launch, or stepping into that partnership, stepping into that relationship, owning your own home, owning a brand new car, right? You're going to finally let go of the struggle. So, Gemini, loved your reading. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It resonated with you. Again, general reading, so they may not have resonated with everybody. I always say there's something there for you. If you want a more in-depth reading, feel free to reach out to me. Link is below for my website. Go ahead and schedule a session. And there's $100 off for $100, not $100 off. You can get a 60-minute session for $100. My way to try to help as many people as I can. So overall, enjoy the month. Can't wait to see what July brings for you, and I'll catch y'all in trying to think what comes after July. August. Take care. Bye.